it, I do it, I do it. Let it be known, let it be known. I am coming for the throne. I said, let it be known. I am coming
So
for the
real
throne.
quick,
Watch me move, it
give
won't
me a
take
top
too
3
long.
artists, you know, lifetime. Your favorite, your top 3,
Dead or alive?
dead or alive.
Greatest artist of all time. Oh, that's terrible.
And I'm not saying that what's in the books. I'm saying yours.
Mm-hmm. Me personally, I have to put Prince at number 1. Dead or alive, he's the greatest artist of all time.
Wow.
And the reason I say that is because there isn't a soul alive who is able to do, who's genre free like that man, and can do all styles of music. Can sing, can rap, can whatever you need to be done, that man can do it. He is, if music was a person, it's Prince. You feel me? Nobody has more. I'm not gonna say more hits. I don't even, screw all that. Nobody has more music than this man, released or unreleased. Nobody's competing with Prince. So that's why. And even if you did have as many albums as Prince, guarantee you didn't produce, write, and do everything top to bottom by yourself like that man does. So that's why he's number 1 on my list. Nobody
All time.
of all time. Nobody
Okay.
else can say they've written all of their hits. Nobody else can say they've produced all of their hits by themselves. Mix, master, engineer, and the whole thing. This man put his own tour together. He ain't need no label for that. He was the first artist to break away from labels and be like, I'm going independent. And I'm going to go to award shows and tell people that I'm independent, and here's why. And make sure you own your masters. And he was looking out for artists at king of music in my eyes.
Wow.
King of music. Top to bottom.
Okay. So
Pop,
Prince.
rock, soul, R&B, funk, especially funk. That man's got it in the bag. In the bag all day. Number 1. Number 2, I have to give it to Beyonce. Of all time, dead or alive, I give it to Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Now here's why. Because nobody, once again, is mixing up styles like she is. Nobody has the vocal ability that she has, and is rapping and singing and is so fucking cold at doing both.
Mm-hmm.
This woman she might not be writing every word. She might not be producing every song. But to be honest with you, I don't think there is a female who's doing that. I don't think there is one. And if I'm wrong, somebody better check me and let me know and put me up on game, because I want to find out who this is. But I don't think... Yes, there is.
Who?
Her.
Okay.
She's new, but she's new. So she's got some work to do before she can be the greatest artist of all time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But she's cold. I have major respect for her. I got major respect. I'm so sorry that I spaced that. You are slaying in the lab, okay? But yeah, she slays. But back to Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From the age of... When did Destiny's Child come out? 96, 97? She was... Forget her age. She was a teenager, is the point. She was not even an adult, and she was writing. You know what I mean? So she's been... Her pen game is cold. She be writing. She can produce. Her production game is cold. She can do all of that, and she's hands-on with everything. She's calling the shots on everything. She might not be doing everything herself, but whoever's doing it, she's telling them exactly how to do it.
Yeah, she talk with them.
Big boss.
Oh, dang.
Big boss. Ain't nobody more bossed up than Beyonce. Come on now. Ask anybody in Hollywood. I bet you that when Beyonce walked down the street... Let me stop. But yeah, she's great. On stage, in the studio, like nobody puts on a live performance like Beyonce. Nobody can dance like she can, male or female. Not alive right now. Not alive right now, male or female. Nobody can put on a live show like that woman can. She's the greatest entertainer alive.
Wow.
Number 3 on my list is the greatest entertainer of all time, male or female, dead or alive, Mr. Michael Jackson, the king of pop.
Okay. Okay.
I don't have to tell you why. The number one best-selling album of all time. For a period of time, he had the number one and number two best-selling album of all time, and that's saying a whole lot. He had the number one best-selling single of all time for a little while with Billie Jean, and that was killer. But you know, that's been people as time goes on, people are starting to snatch up the Michael Jackson records, but nobody had held and broken as many records as that man had in no amount of time. Granted, his career is 40 years long, and he was basically born into it. That's an unfair advantage. But hey, it is what it is. The man has a rap sheet. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's got what Michael's got, period. And I don't think anybody's ever going to get it. There will never be. People keep saying it, and hopefully the more we say it, the more we can solidify it. There will never be another Thriller. I don't want anybody to pass that up. Now, Thriller changed the game because now everybody's got to have multiple styles of music. You gotta be genre bending. That's one thing I love about Prince and Michael. They're genre benders. They love pop, rock, hip hop, R&B, all styles of music, and every album has every style of music. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, if you want to get the biggest, like, you know what I mean, like the best package deal, that's where it's at. Artists like that who can be flexible and morph back and forth like that. That's where it's at.
I got you. So we got Prince, Beyonce, and MJ.
The great Michael Jackson.
Okay.
That's right.
So just think about it. If you were to put Prince and Michael Jackson in a versus battle, you know, who would you think, you know, the best 10, give them 10 songs each? Give them 10 songs each. Who either the or we could do 5 songs.
That makes it harder. The less songs, the worse it gets for me, man. Shit.
5, their best 5 songs. They got 5 songs, and they could perform. They
could perform.
Yeah, they got a stage. You got 5 songs.
Fuck. Well, I mean, if you're putting anybody up against Michael Jackson, you have to go with hits.
Okay.
So there's no really other way to do it than to get the Billboard hits. So it's got to be the greatest hits versus the greatest hits. It can't It can't be the best songs versus the best songs.
I got you.
Because I've tried this scenario in my head, and I'm just like, nah. My reaction, I could put that together, and I'll be like, okay, it'll come out this way. But other people's reactions will be like, nah. We didn't know half of them songs that Prince was playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, nah, okay, all right, fine.
I got you.
So yeah, you have to do hits versus hits, and you got to do 10. You can't do less than 10 because come on, these guys were slaying. Number one, both of them were like bing, taking turns and shit from the 80s through the 90s. That's 2 whole decades that they were on top and nobody could fucking touch them. So it's like, damn. All right, 5 from the 80s for Mike and Prince, 5 from the 90s for Mike and Prince. You put them together, you get Michael, Billie Jean, Beat It, Thriller, Bad, stay in the 80s. I need one more from the Bad album because I got 3 from Thriller. What's the joint? Like The Way You Make Me Feel. That's a bop. That gets people jumping. And then for Prince, you got to do 1999. Like, that was a fucking anthem forever. You got to do Kiss. That's definitely a Prince staple. You got to do Purple Rain. You got to do Let's Go Crazy. Let's Go Crazy, I think, is the opener. Either 1999 or Let's Go. It's got to be Let's Go Crazy. Let's Go Crazy, the opener. And then, what's another, like, major... Because Prince has got so many songs, it's hard to narrow them down.
When Doves Cry.
Yeah, When Doves Cry is a jam. But then again, it's like this. Yeah, he had more albums than Michael did in the 80s, too. So it's like you can jump different albums and do like Raspberry Beret or You know, because that's when people hear that on the radio, they're stuck. Man, there's so many. But then you go to 90s, you could do Michael, Black or White, Remember the Time, Scream with Janet. If we're going to throw in some features, can we do features?
That's fine, we can do features.
They Don't Care About Us. What's that song? That R. Kelly song. You're Not Alone. That was his last #1 hit. That's got to be on that set. Prince for the 90s, Most Beautiful Girl in the World versus You Are Not Alone would be that'd be a great match. So he's definitely got to do Most Beautiful Girl in the World. I just want to hear Endorphin Machine because I think that would match well with Black or White. And it's a rock bop to rock bop, so that makes sense. You got to do Diamonds and Pearls. That was like a Prince staple of the 90s, Diamonds and Pearls. You got to do Cream because that was a major smash off the album. And you got to do Get Off because that song, when that motherfucker come in with that wail, when he gets to screaming, oh shit, that's when you know it's a rap. It's a rap. Michael Jackson does not have one song. Sorry, y'all. Michael Jackson does not have one song that can compete with Get Off or Endorphin Machine on a vocal level. Not one.
On a vocal. So you're saying Prince sang better than Michael on that song?
I'm not saying sang better. I don't know. I think Michael probably had a better vocal ability, like better vocal control. But Prince definitely had a much bigger vocal range. I think Prince's vocal range was like twice the size of Michael's because Prince could be all the way down here talking to you like this was his speaking voice was all the way down here, a whole lot of bass, and I can just get a little closer to the mic to be a little more extreme because his voice was really like low down here, so he'd have to be close to the mic for you to hear him. He's just real relaxed, real deep voice, so he could sing down there if you need him to. Michael would never. I don't think he had that frequency in his throat, you know. And then he could take it from there all the way up to like a Mariah Carey like.
Who, Prince?
Whistle. Yeah. Oh man. Oh boy. He really gets crazy in the 90s. You got to go to the 90s. That's where he was doing a lot of screaming in the 80s, but he is hitting them fucking notes in the 90s. He's got a song called what's the best one? Well, I mean, there's two from the 90s. Get Off with that scream, but then Endorphin Machine with vocal range, but then he also does a scream there too. But it's not just like random screaming. It is so well tuned. Without auto-tune. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit. So talk about Demon and screaming. I don't know. You might have to put Prince up against Steven Tyler. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know. In the versus battle, 10 for 10, I feel like Michael would win.
I got
He's
you.
the greatest of all time. Michael's gonna take the cake.
I got you.
But me personally, just putting 10 songs to 10 songs or 50 songs to 50 songs, Prince is going to body anybody all day, every day. Because no matter what you got, he got a song to match it. Don't matter.
I got you.
No matter what you got. So, scary stuff. I think Michael just had more like up-tempo stuff. Like like he had faster songs that could make you want to move a little more because Michael Jackson was a dancer.
For sure.
You know what I mean? He was an entertainer. He was a performer, so he needed some shit he could bust down to, and that motherfucker get nasty. Ooh, Michael was mean as hell on that stage, boy, I tell you. But yeah, and Prince was more of, you know, he was more of like playing the guitar, playing the piano. He's more like on the instruments than he was. I mean, he could dance too. He could put together a choreographed routine too. But he was more so just, he wanted you to feel something in the music. And Michael Jackson wanted you to feel something in the music, but he wanted you to see something too. He want to have your ears, your eyes, your heart, your soul. He want to just completely like get you. You know what I'm saying? Did it cut?
Dead to the beat, no apology. I make a move, I produce jealousy. Fall back, I don't slow this beat. Combat, I won't show mercy. Rinse it with the face, just wait for the visual. Come about the check and soon the residual. Master the flow, image and strategy. Switch them lanes
for
they
a
won't catch me. I am the ram to go the business. I am the man atop the hit list. They come from far to see the myth. I am the walking embodiment. So come by faith and you may leave with a blessing. Coming with the fake, it'll sure be hectic. Live by the love, the laws of bliss. There'll always be a heavenly ring to kiss.